Round 2. Fight.
Try it again. So close.
Sonex pilot wins. Let's just get into it.
Welcome back, guys. It's another absolutely beautiful day. It's been a few weeks since we last tried to start this thing, but looking like this might work out for us. So let's give it a shot. I've had the battery charger on this multiple times since the last time we attempted our start. And we got a pretty good number today. Between the ambient temperature and our battery charger, I don't think the battery's going to conk out today before we get some good action. Trying something a little unconventional today to get some heat into this engine. I rolled it forward a little bit, so I've got it in the sun, but then I also have my heated vest that maybe you saw in another video. Got that on full blast, seeing if that helped get some heat in. I do have a few different kinds of space heater, but I figured I'd try something out of the box today. One thing I want to check today that I didn't do the last time around is I want to make sure the carburetor is actually getting fuel. Now, before I turned the fuel on, and I saw some coming out of the overflow, so I figured our fuel flow was right, but let's double check this before we pull the plane out of the garage. So this is our main fuel line coming from the tank to the carburetor. It's flared fitting. Go ahead and pull this off. Hold the carb in place. Expecting some fuel to come out here. Yep, there's a little bit in place. Alright, I didn't plan on this bracket holding the fuel line on there on the intake. That makes sense. That is something that should be there. So we're going to have to come up with another way to drain this. I was just going to put the fuel line right into the can, but that's okay. Not the best solution, but the best solution I can come up with right now. It's a really tall transmission funnel. I went ahead and cleaned it out. We're going to stick this down in the can. Hopefully this doesn't make a huge mess. Beautiful. Alright, got our trans funnel in place, that's held in. So anything that comes out, I'm going to try not to just open it full on. And we'll see what happens. See if I got some fuel flow. Oh, yep. I didn't have to be standing here to know that was working just fine. Well, good. Plenty of fuel getting into the carb then. We can put this back together. Strip here. Okay. Finger tight. Get our flare nut wrench. In this case, 9/16. Alright. That's key there. We don't want to over tighten this. We want to make sure it's sealed, everything's good, nothing's loose, but we definitely want to over tighten it because we could split that nut or tear up those threads, and that would be expensive. We don't want to do that. We know we got fuel getting to the carburetor. From the last time and looking around, we know we got fuel coming through the cylinders because I did have some in the exhaust after all was said and done. I didn't show this in the first video, but let's go ahead and take a look at our spark plugs, see how they look. 4-cylinder engine, 2 plugs per cylinder, so that's 8 plugs. Now the cool thing about using a automotive conversion engine is these are automotive spark plugs. So standard plugs we can buy at any part store, using standard tools making it easier to work on ourselves. So let's get into it. Alright, now as I said, there's 2 sets of plugs for every cylinder. This is the upper set that we can easily get to right up on top. The others underneath are a little more challenging. So that's all we're going to show in the video today. But just like your car in your driveway, standard plug lead, pull that off, and you can see straight away that looks like a standard plug. I've already got my 5/8 spark plug wrench, so we're going to go ahead and come in here, and this should be the right size. And it is. Like a glove. Alright, just back it off. There we go. Run it out. Let's see what we got. See what they look like, see if they need to be replaced or if I need to go through and clean them all. Whatever the case is. Alright. Well, they are a little sooty. That might be from our last attempt at starting, but I don't think it's too bad. So I think what we're going to do, go through and clean all these upper plugs and see what we get. Alright, got our little spark plug cleaning set up here. Now, the way I do this with standard plugs, so I'll get some kind of cleaning solution. In this case I have brake clean. I have some fine grit sandpaper, and then we've got some of your standard gapping tools. And when we check our book, Revmaster book calls out for 16 thousandths for a gap on our plugs. Now that's actually pretty small. It's a bit smaller than standard automotive applications. If we look at our handy dandy spark plug gapper tool / keychain, this one only goes down to 20 thousandths, so this one's not going to do us any good. In which case we're going to break out our feeler gauges. Look at this. I wasn't trying to do this. Here is a 16 thousandths feeler gauge. Go ahead and give this a quick shot. That looks pretty good. Kind of blew away some of the crud, if you can tell. I don't know what's all going to come up on camera here. And then I take fine grit sandpaper, in this case 320 grit. There we go, I go single ply. Take our fine grit sandpaper and just run it back and forth a little bit. We're not trying to take the metal off, just any built up carbon or anything. You can be the judge of that. Some plugs you might need to give it a little bit more. And that's it, really. Doesn't take a whole lot. Another shot there. I'm using the extension and the socket to help run this in. Now, top tip for you, you can use a piece of hose, attach it on the end there to help thread it in case you need a little bit of help there so you don't tear up your threads. But in this location, we got plenty of space, so this is what we're going to do. Now, there is a specific torque for this, but given what we're trying to do, we're not flying today, and we have the NEC set, kind of throws off your torque spec. We'll just do Guten tight, see what feels right. That's plenty good right there. We don't have to go any tighter. Pop it on. That's it for that cylinder. I'm going to go through and do the others.
Everything was looking great as I was working through the spark plugs. I was feeling really confident about getting it started. So the next job was to get it out into the driveway. I got some help moving it from my lovely assistant. Let's pick things up in the driveway.
One, 1, 2. Alright, you should be able to hear me. I hear me. Give it a go. Ignition coming on. Or. What? No fuel, but we got nothing. Try it again. Alright, I just turned the avionics on so we can see our actual engine gauge and see what we got. I've got a high temp light, but that's what it does when it's going through. Alright. Let's bring it back a little bit. Back it off some more. Normally I would just start it right up and hold the power up there, but it's been a while since this thing's run, so I want to try to get some heat in it so it doesn't kill the battery, and have to start all over again. Hold the mixture back a little bit more. T100. Oil pressure looks good. Don't have any oil temp yet. Don't know if I'm going to. I don't know what this thing does. I don't know what all my instruments are yet. Let's get some more. Typically I'd want at least 200 on CHT before adding any power, doing a run up or anything, and taking off. Now we got the big fan going, it's kind of cool. So these levels are coming on. Nope. That's running. How cool is that? Now I've only had wings, and we're at an airport, and new tires, and a canopy, and we could actually take this thing off and go for a flight, because it is absolutely... Yeah, we're still running at 1800 RPM. Let's bring it back. If it'll die. Alright, CHT starting to show up on our gauge. Freaking wind's kicking up, picking some dust over here. They got a good charging system. But I'm a little fuel light. I only put in 5 gallons, so I'm okay with that. I don't know what it comes in at yet. Still have this high temp light. No idea what that's actually. HT looks good. Maybe for EGT. I went forwards on the mixture. EGT comes down a little bit. HT is still bouncing around. Get a little more throttle. And it died when we pulled the throttle back at that time. Alright, so we can get going. Come on. Do that again. HT still looks good. Oil pressure still good. I do not have an oil temp. That's actually kind of annoying. Hi, Lillian. Hi. You can't see if my wife and son are off camera off this side. I'm trying to say hi to little man. Alright, cool. Well, as long as we don't spontaneously burst into flames, I'm pretty happy with the events of today so far. So, we're running. First time, who knows how long. So I got good volts on the charging system. Parking and take this picture back. Alright. I'm pretty happy. Let's give it another shot of power real quick. Trim. Guys, well, I'm just going to let it run for a bit more, get some more heat built up. CHT's still coming up on both banks. CGT's are looking good. I have oil pressure. I'm not seeing oil temperature right now, but all in all, we're looking pretty good. Nothing's on fire yet. So, like I said, I'm just going to stay here for a little bit, but this is where we stop the video. Till next time. Alright, I'm happy. Bottle's back. Sure, cut off.